everybody, my name is Allison Diamond and I am the host and the creator of the World Harmony Project. And this is my first time, I think, broadcasting live on Bubblr Media by myself using Facebook Live. So bear with me, I may have some technical things going on, and plus I want to make sure, I'm not sure how to see myself. I've got my laptop here. Could not go live on my laptop, but I was able to go live on my iPad. So if I could figure out how to see myself and how to see if anybody's watching, I'll be, looking into that. But the topic of the World Harmony Project is my new project called SNAPDAYs. Hi, Melissa. Thank you. I'm glad to know that it sounds good. I know sometimes I have some weird problems with my internet. And the reason I'm talking about SNAPDAYs on the World Harmony Project is because SNAPDAYs is actually part of that umbrella World Harmony Project mission. The mission of the World Harmony Project is to bring about change, but in a positive way. We want to look at social issues from a critical perspective through the eyes of different people around the world who experience the same issues, but in their own ways, because we're all influenced by culture, we're influenced by politics of our country, of our communities. So there are so many ways that the same social issue could be looked at completely different ways. And diversity means that we have a world of different people that we need to be able to live amongst and understand and cooperate with. So I believe that social media should be used to bring different groups together and to help us understand one another. I hope that World Harmony Project contributes to that effort. And this new project, which is called SNAPDAYs, is a subset of that. It still is about bringing diverse people together, but it focuses on social media. Right now, specifically, we're beginning with Snapchat. So the purpose of SNAPDAYs, and it's a really fun program, it's a bot, basically, a personal assistant. And I'll tell you a little bit about bots first, kind of to set the stage. Oh, and I should also say that once in a while you're going to hear some beeps and tones and stuff, because I'm borrowing somebody's laptop. And I don't know how to turn everything off and on. So what is a bot? Specifically a chatbot. A chatbot is basically a program that is already created. All the background work is done as far as the Facebook Messenger based ones, and they're all the rage because they're very easy to use. All you really need is patience and time and creativity, and you can put a bot together. The purpose of a bot is that it can speak on your behalf when you're not available. So this is a really good thing if you run a business and you're not available 24 hours a day, because frankly, who is? You can still respond to requests. In fact, you can be very specific in creating responses about typical questions that people would have about your business. So last week, you might remember I spoke with Becca, right, about her MLM sales business where she's selling doTERRA oils. If she had a bot, she could set it up to respond to people who have questions about her products, how they can find them, basic questions they might have about anything to do with connecting with her. And over time, and she probably, even though she still is a little bit new with doTERRA, she probably has an idea of the kind of questions that people are going to ask. She can set up the bot to really, thank you, Amber. She could set up her bot to respond to those kind of questions. Now, for me, I became interested in creating a bot because I am a member of the ChatSnap Twitter conversation that happens every Wednesday. I make sure that I join whenever I can, even though it happens while I'm at work. I will take a lunch break and combine my break and my lunch if I have to. I really enjoy what Chris Gillentine has put together. And Blake put the bot together for ChatSnap. And when I saw that bot, I was amazed. I thought, this is a perfect solution because it tells you what's going to happen and when, and it gives you the questions ahead of time, things that you could find on the website. But, you know, it's so convenient. You're sitting on a bus, or you're, you know, waiting for a friend, or you're at the doctor's office, and you can just look at your phone and this message is there saying blah, 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 blah. I didn't have to go searching for it. And that's what really captivated me. Plus it was really pretty. So I said, Blake was the one that put this together. I said, Blake, this is a solution that I've been looking for Snapchat. Let me tell you a little bit about Snapchat. If you're not on Snapchat, I'm sure most of you watching this are. And if you're watching this in the replay, thank you very much. And I'll bet a lot of you already know about Snapchat. I think Snapchat is unique. It's probably similar to Musical.ly. I'm not into Musical.ly, but a lot of people are into both. What distinguishes, I think, Snapchat from a lot of other communities is there just seems to be an authenticity to it that doesn't exist as, I don't know, I guess it's just not as prevalent on Instagram or Twitter, Facebook to a certain extent, but to me there's no real sense of community on Facebook because it's just so broad and it contains a mix of people from today and yesterday and your coworkers, your family, everything kind of blends unless you've been really careful and curated your friends list. But after a while, it can get pretty unwieldy. So you have to behave a certain way on Facebook. At least I do. I try to behave. Then on Instagram, I feel like there are many more people that respond to you on Instagram. It's a very polite and nice and pleasant community. I really haven't had anything bad happen on Instagram. Now they've got the live feature and everything. Yes, Melissa, I met you on Snapchat. You were doing art, and you sent me some art, which I have hanging up in my cubicle at work. I get to see it every day, colorful birds. And but that's the thing about Snapchat. I mean, there's a more of a personal connection. So like with Melissa, she sent me her artwork. I told her how much I loved it. And she sent it to me. I actually printed it out, and I have it hanging on my wall at work. Joe Wilson, you know, he's got the mugs, he's got the t-shirts and everything, and yeah, he created those things for fundraising, but he also helped create a community, you know, and it's hysterical. I mean, I can go on Snapchat and somebody I don't even know will be wearing Joe Wilson's t-shirt, and it makes you feel like you've got a family, you know, an extended family. So it's really cool, the things that people on Snapchat do to interconnect, and I don't find that same community spirit on Instagram or any of the other ones. They all have their benefits. They're all great for different things. Snapchat for me is about community. It's about networking. It's about friendship. It's about making each other laugh. It's about being entertaining. It's like television with real people. Yes, we're all famous to a few people. We definitely are. And it's cool because when I get on Snapchat, I really feel like I have some people there who are going to say hi to me. They know what's going on with me. I care about them. I know what's going on. I'll check in with you guys. If I don't hear from you for a while, I'm like, are you doing okay? You just had surgery. How's it going? You're going out of town. Are you excited? It's like a family kind of checking in on one another. And then we meet new family members all the time. Oh, okay, Melissa. Thank you. So when I think about all the things that people are doing on Snapchat, they are creating events, contests, games, little episodic shows. There's a lot. I mean, how can you remember all this stuff? So I was thinking, I said to Blake, this bot thing is going to be perfect for Snapchat. And so I put together like a rudimentary kind of idea. And I called it SNAPDAYs because it's about the hashtag days that people create. That's the foundation of it. So it's actually called hashtag SNAPDAYs, capital S, capital D. And I had Blake go in and test it. I said, can you check it out? Tell me what you think. And so he told me about ManyChat. That's the platform that I'm using for this bot. There are other platforms if you're interested in checking them out. There's Chat Fuel, there's Botsify. You know, it really just depends on how comfortable you are with the user interface, I think. ManyChat I started there just because that's what Blake used. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And man, this thing has grown. And what happened was Blake went in there and tested it, and he said, wow, this is really cool. So what I would do is I would add stuff, add features, put art in there and GIFs and funny stuff. And I say, Blake, what do you think? I did this and that and the other. And he'd check it out, and he'd give me a critique and, some more feedback. And then when people started to actually use it, he'd hop in if he saw that they had said something for which I had not created a response yet. So Blake has been like I was joking today, he's like the godfather. He said that SNAPDAYs is my brainchild. So if I'm the brain parent, then he's definitely the godfather of SNAPDAYs. And he's been a huge help. And he's pretty awesome. I have a little blurb about him in SNAPDAYs so that if people are interested in, having a bot, they might want to see if he'll work with them. Blake is going to be building more of these, and I'd like to see him have a successful business. This is so much fun. I would love to do this for a living. If I could do it for a living, man, it's just so much fun. And maybe it's the sociologist in me and the communications person in me. I just really love it. So anyway, so what is a chatbot? The chatbot, like I said before, is basically like an assistant, and it will answer questions in your absence. It will provide information to people, and everything is based on keywords. So a real simple one would be, how the joke is when you start programming something, you start with hello world. Well, most people are going to start with hello, hi, hey, how are you? You can make a whole set of keywords of greetings if you wanted to, and then have a response or two. So when people go into the Snapchat SNAPDAYs bot and they say hi, I have responses for that. If they say I don't know, I'm not going to go into all the prompts, but I do have. If you type in keywords, it gives you a small set of keywords that are easy to remember. In case you ever wanted to go into into the SNAPDAYs bot just on a whim and look something up, you would have a short set of keywords that are the most useful for what SNAPDAYs is meant for. But that's basically what it is. It's built on keywords and basically programming. There's a little bit of programming in there that is really invisible to you. It runs in the background. But you can set up sequences. You can, if you check out SNAPDAYs, the purpose of it is to let you know what's happening on any particular weekday on Snapchat. So if I go in there and I want to know what's going on today, Monday, I'll go in there and type Monday. And I could do that anytime I want. I could do it on Sunday, I could do it on Thursday. It's always going to give me what's going to happen on Monday because that's how I've programmed it. I've set it up to respond to every day of the week. There's a 24/7 prompt because some people have activities that go on anytime, like the vitamin D snaps that the crazy kale lady does, Sandy. So Sandy does vitamin D snaps to remind us to go and get our vitamin D, sit out in the sun, go for a walk, sit on your porch, just get a few minutes of sunshine. And a lot of people do forget to do that. Vitamin D is a big, huge problem. Why not learn a little bit about it in a fun way and meet other people? You'll be looking at a Snap story and you might see that somebody did a vitamin D snap. Well, that means you both have somebody in common. You both know Sandy. That's kind of cool. These hashtag things really connect people to one another. I was on looking at the stories yesterday and somebody had said happy birthday to somebody that is on my list, and I didn't know it was that person's birthday. So I sent out a happy birthday as well, and it was kind of nice that it was a little bit of a family thing, where we can publicly say happy birthday to somebody, give them a smile, and so there's all sorts of connections that we don't know about, and SNAPDAYs is helpful in getting us all to meet one another and take part in something fun. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a demonstration for those who haven't seen it. Basically, all you're doing is you're going into, and I don't know how well you can see this, it looks very, let me see if I can turn down brightness. Okay, that works. So basically, let's see, I'm going to go into SNAPDAYs. You can see all these people that I know on here, but here's SNAPDAYs. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it's like if you do not already have the SNAPDAYs connection. Let's see if I can do this without messing everything up. I have a knack for destroying stuff. You can ask my parents. You wouldn't know that I used to work in tech. I used to install routers, put cables together, install cables, configure routers, and troubleshoot digital connections and stuff. But if you ask my parents, I was the one who destroyed their computer every time I came over to visit them. It wasn't my fault. Something wrong with their computer. So, okay, so I've deleted my connection to SNAPDAYs to kind of give you an idea of what it's like, and now I'm going to look it up. And when I look up Snap in the list, I know it's backwards. I wonder if I can. Here, you can see my cabinet. That's my mom and dad, by the way. Okay, so this is SNAPDAYs. SNAPDAYs is at the very top there. And if I click on it, and this is what's going to happen when you do it, it's going to give you this let's get started thing. So you really don't have to do a lot of thinking. It does it for you. Nothing to be scared of. It's just a bot. Okay? So this is the welcome message. And you can be creative at this point. If you're creating a bot for your business, you can use whatever you want. You can make it serious. You can make it funny. The way I did this was I want you to kind of feel like you're talking to me. And I can be kind of silly, so, hey. And so it will greet you by name. If your name is Melissa, if your name is Amber, it's going to say, we've been waiting for you, Amber. Thanks for subscribing. And it tells you how to stop at any time, which is really cool. And so basically, you scroll up and make sure you can see everything. And it tells you to type in, well, you don't actually have to type in get started. I put a button here so you wouldn't have to type it. And if you click on that, it tells you how to use it. And basically, it's like chatting with somebody, like chatting with me. And it gives you basic instructions. All right, so it's very easy. I try to be very positive. I want to highlight people who make ChatSnap a really nice community to be in. And today I'm highlighting Jimbo Nation. This was his snap today. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And that's a positive thought, right? We tend to think that we win and lose, but this doesn't have to be that way. And I like the way Jim put it. So let me turn this around. And so basically, anything I type in here for a day of the week, like Monday, Sunday, what have you, it'll give me what's happening for that day. So today's Monday, so I'm going to put Monday, and I know it's going to come out backwards for you guys. But it sees what I typed in, gives me a response, and it's going to list all the things that are happening on Monday. That's the purpose, it's a directory. And I can tell you that today we've got My One Thing by Ecotech. You guys know who that is, Kim Gasco. We've also got Deserb, 3 facts from 33 years ago in 3 snaps. I mean, people are so creative. They really are. And I have to celebrate it when people come up with stuff. And then my newest addition for Monday is the Create Club. So amazing. If you don't know about the Create Club, please go on SNAPDAYs. And I even have a little section that says, what is Create Club? Click on that and see about this collective. It's really cool. People do really cool stuff on Snapchat that without SNAPDAYs, I would not have ever heard of. So I really see the benefit of this project in getting people's efforts out there. It's really amazing to me, not only how creative people are artistically, but how thoughtful people are as far as taking into consideration the things that we go through, whether it's depression, Kelly, if you remember Kelly Also, Brooke, I interviewed her. She talks about survivors of domestic violence and human trafficking. She has a Snapchat presence where, if people can find her on there, they may find a confidant, or they might find an advocate. They might find a mentor or somebody who can lead them to resources. I mean, who would think that on Snapchat you can find somebody who could help you get out of a domestic violence situation, or help you find resources to protect you, from, any kind of stuff that goes on out there in society, because you do have to be careful out there. And I just think it's really cool that we have people who are willing to do these kind of things. So that's Monday. But Snap Days goes a little bit further, and there's going to be more to Snap Days. I would like to highlight, like I said, people who are positive. I also would like to highlight different groups of snappers. Right now, I'm collecting musicians. If you play music, if you are a DJ, if you sing or play an instrument, all that, especially if you do it online on your Snapchat account. I'm collecting names and accounts, and those of us who love to watch music on Snapchat will be able to see a directory of those people who wish to be on it and would like to get their name out there. It's pretty cool. So that's one thing. Maybe there'll be another topic next month and somebody will suggest it and it'll work out. So you just never know. Snap Days is going to be sometimes off the cuff. Sometimes there's a lot of it that's going to be normal and anticipated, which is good. You want to be able to count on some things, but I also like being spontaneous, just like people are. So Snap Days will hopefully always have new things and interesting things to amuse and educate and delight. There's a newsletter that comes out. I'm slating it for every week right now. All you have to do is type in news and you'll get the latest edition. And basically it tells you all the new people who have been added to the directory since you saw it last week. And if there's any contests going on, you might be aware that Kim Boda is doing a contest. I think it ends on Wednesday at midnight this week. And I think that's the 14th. And it's a dance contest, and she's got actual prizes. I mean, you can win a selfie light, which I would like to win. You can win a Gorilla magnetic tripod for your phone. Or you can win, what was the third one? I can't remember. Can't remember right now, but there's 3 prizes. It's in there in Snap Days. So you can type in news, you can type, you can type in so many things and get responses on the games and things that are going on. I will, let's see, let me give you an example of something else that I put in there. I don't know, it'll come up as I'm talking, but I am taking suggestions, any kind of suggestions that you have that you think will make Snap Days more fun and also expose more Snapchatters to more people. Please feel free to let me know. You can type in that information right in Messenger. Once in a while, if you type in a word that happens to be a keyword, you'll get a response, which is kind of funny. You can't, prevent all kinds of issues, but it is kind of funny that some of the words that I've typed in as keywords, maybe one person will type it in 2 weeks, and that person will get we'll get a personalized message nobody else has gotten. But that's the fun of Snap Days. So please feel free to suggest features that Snap Days can have. There's going to be, I'm thinking, besides this stream, I'm thinking of doing something maybe on Anchor or what is it called? Sprecher Radio. I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it. Hey Kim, I'm still thinking about whether. Thank you. And you're one person whose opinion about the bot I really wanted. It's good to have a well-rounded group of people to critique and test a product. So Kim is the techie person. Oh, thank you. The SNAPDAYs bot is still a baby, but it's growing quickly with people's suggestions. And I was just saying that if people want to provide suggestions for features or people they would like me to add, SNAPDAYs to put in there, just type them in the messenger bot and I will receive them. Just keep in mind that it's a directory for people who are actually doing things. So John Smith doesn't go in there just because John Smith has a Snapchat account. John Smith goes in there because John Smith is a doctor and he does a weekly show about diabetes or something. So that's what I'm looking for. People like the Create Club, who actually have collaborative art groups and contests, and Kim Boda, who's doing her dance contests for prizes this week. So those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. I don't mind events. You know, it doesn't have to be a hashtag. It can be actually, like I was thinking of Kim, you travel a lot. Say somebody is going on, you know, a trip to who knows where, and they would like that to be featured on SNAPDAYs. There's no problem with that. It kind of gives, it's just kind of cool to know that, you know, every day so-and-so is, you know, on this road trip, and let me check in on the road trip to see how it's going, you know. So I like that idea. I like where you have something going on that people can check in with, or you have a weekly episodic show that people can check in on. There's some crazy stuff on the internet. So there's some crazy stuff on Snapchat too. I do try to keep it family friendly. I do not like to censor, but I'm not going to put anything on there that is, you know, pornographic. I'm not going to put nudies and stuff on there. And if that's what people report that they're seeing, I will take it off. I'm sure there's plenty of other people who would be happy to have a directory of that kind of stuff. But yeah, not me. Sorry. I will, you know, yeah, it's going to be PG, maybe PG-15, is that what it's called? PG-15, but yeah, it's not going to be R, that's for sure. Not going to be X. So, but you know, we also can't control conversations and what people talk about. So, if, you know, if there's somebody that has a political show every week, you know, you take your chances. You go and visit their political discussion, and you don't like their point of view. That's life. So, but I'm more than happy to list people who have weekly shows and or special events coming up. What else can I tell you? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think if you put in a keyword that there's no response for, and you would like to see a response for it, or you have a suggestion, just let me know. I'm happy to add it. I do try to be humorous because I'm a humorous person. When you interact with the SNAPDAYs bot, you're kind of talking to me. So it does have a little bit of a personality, and I think that's the cool thing about bots. If you were going to build one for your business, you probably wouldn't want it to be dry and boring. So my tip would be, if you're creating one to act as your stand-in when you're not available, try to make it a little bit like you, or try to make it, you know, the person that you wish you were, I guess. I don't know. If you don't have that great of a business personality, maybe your bot can do that. I work on this, I would say, well, for sure on the weekends I do. So the newsletter took me all day, and that was because it was the very first newsletter. But in the future, because I've got everything set up, I've got the sections and everything, it'll just take me, I can't really tell you how long it'll take me, because it'll be only the second newsletter, but it won't take me as long because the concept is already in place. As far as adding new people, I think because the bot is still new, I'm not getting responses all day. So right now, if somebody, you know, if I got 2 suggestions today, they will go in this week. So I would say I could easily pick probably 1 day a week and spend all day if I wanted to, and the equivalent would be a couple hours each day if I wanted to. But or not even 2 hours, I'd say an hour, because once you have the basics put in, you're using a template, a mental template and physical templates. I use Over. Some of you use Canva. I actually use Over. I love it. I actually subscribe to it. That's how much I love it. It's overpriced, but it does alpha masking. It does different fonts. The only thing it doesn't do is video, and I haven't decided what I want to do for that, but I do use a GIF maker. So when you look at the SNAPDAYs responses and you see GIFs and art or anything like that, those are things that I'm creating on my phone mainly. I mean, this is my computer, and I do the majority of the work on here. Now, ManyChat does not work very well on this. It works a little bit better on the iPad, but really it's a desktop, laptop platform. Hopefully they'll improve it, but you will drive yourself nuts trying to do things on your phone. I do things on my phone with it all the time, but it takes me longer than it would otherwise. So I hope that answers your question, Kim. Really, you can put as much time into it as you want. I'm having so much fun with it that I easily could spend the whole day thinking up responses to people's input and adding things. And I do try to change it a little bit so it's not always the same boring look. For example, I updated all the nameplates, I guess you can call them, for the weekdays. I don't know that going forward that's really necessary. It really will depend on how much use it gets. So I want it to get used a lot all the time. I want everyone to be able to connect with one another. I want to feature people. I want to interview people. I've asked several people if they will create. Okay. Somebody answered me, but I thought it was for this. And I lost my train of thought. But basically, I'm just hoping that so many people will be using this that will really be growing the Snapchat community and really helping one another with networking and friendship and the things that we learn, the recipes that we share, the mentorships that I see, and really that stuff is going on. So all of that I think will be enhanced when we have a good way, a directory of finding one another. And I think SNAPDAYs is just fun. I think that being able to see somebody being featured on here and learning who they are and what they do and what motivates them, you may find somebody that you relate to. And it doesn't have to be somebody that we already know that's famous. I want everybody to be able to talk about themselves and what they do. It doesn't have to be the same people all the time. There's a mixture of people, and I like to see that diversity reflected on SNAPDAYs. So I don't want to drag this out any longer. Let's end this broadcast by saying that SNAPDAYs is for everyone on Snapchat who is interested in building community and finding people that are fun to interact with, finding activities that are fun, teaching, learning, all that stuff. Thank you, Kim. I really appreciate all the feedback and all the suggestions and all the additions, the names that people are putting in there. There's this, it seems like the sky is the limit when it comes to digital and the internet. So keep it coming, you guys. And I'm here to support you because that's to me what SNAPDAYs is all about. It's about bringing you guys forward and helping you grow your audience, helping you meet new people, and making Snapchat successful for all of us. So I'll end this here. Thank you very much for putting up with me again, and I will be back next week. I will probably alternate between World Harmony and SNAPDAYs. We'll see how it works. And if you want to subscribe to the SNAPDAYs bot, please feel free to come by and good night, Kim. Feel free to come by and subscribe, and you can stop at any time, so it's no risk. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.